for what I don't have, for what is missing in my life. That is a person who gets who I am and is a really good kisser. Yes, people love to claim that you and your spouse must be best friends in a marriage. Maybe that's true. Annabelle and I go out to dinner, see movies, travel, play tennis, email, tease, and kid each other. But at the end of the day, instead of hugging or shaking hands goodbye, as I do with my other best friends, I prefer that Annabelle sits on my face. The only things that Annabelle and I can agree on is all the stuff we don't like. American Airlines, ourselves when we're around our parents, clawing romantic comedy movies about gorgeous wedding planners who help everyone get married but can't find a guy themselves, or when these same characters suddenly start singing and dancing to a clearly choreographed number that's somehow supposed to look spontaneous. We really hate that. Yet my love for her is like a pilot light that refuses to dim. I love the way she smells, laughs, and the cute little sound she makes when I snug up next to her in bed at night. There's something about her that turns me inside out and inspires me. Since we met, she has been my muse. She's my raison d'etre in a life filled with chaotic uncertainty, constant insecurity, and very questionable greenlit movies. This is why I married her. I believe that Annabelle and I, like millions of other people, are standing at a new frontier of marriage. My wife informs me that there are more than 3,000 analytical, therapy-inspired self-help books that claim to shed some light on this subject. I have tried to read some of them, but only get agitated and throw them across the room. I like to think of the authors of those books as the Daniel Boones and Davy Crockett's of the new frontier of marriage. And if they are the Boones and Crockett's, then you should think of Annabelle and me and our book as the Donner Party. I hope our book will serve as a happy guide for the many people traveling up the same twisting, windy, rocky slopes of marriage as they do their best to avoid the paths that we have taken so they won't get stuck with us on some freezing, wintry mountain pass. It's in this spirit that we want to make you laugh and perhaps even learn from our profound lack of wisdom and warped perspectives, because when it comes to being married, Annabelle and I are the gurus of wrong. Enjoy.
Tolstoy once said that it is easier to love all mankind than one man at a time. I don't think he was referring to marriage, but he might as well have been. I was not the kind of girl who dreamed of growing up, getting married, and settling down. I never played dress-up weddings, I never pushed baby dolls in carriages. I pranced around in a homemade Star Trek uniform and had trolls, whose hair I brushed until it stood on end, set them on fire, and tossed them into the traffic just to see them get crushed. I was that kind of girl. Okay, I did have Barbies, but Babs was never a wife nor a mother. She lived in a Malibu dream house, and if the little accessories that came along with her were any clue, then it would be fair to say that she spent most of her time trying on tight-fitting polyester outfits and packing for overnight trips in teensy bags big enough to hold only tiny panties and a toothbrush. Where was she going? I didn't know, but I was happy she didn't have sweat glands, and I liked her freewheeling style. I wanted to be just like her, only in thrift shop clothing. So it was a surprise for me to even decide to get married, twice at this point. As a testament to how much I suck at relationships, when my first marriage broke up, my parents took his side. In taking the plunge the second time, I didn't have a plan, really. I just hoped to land somewhere between The Way We Were and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Jeff and I reside in a household situated smack in the middle of that hazy, divorce-riddled DMZ of the two working parents family. Holding a marriage together is getting harder and harder. For the first time since World War II, the number of couples who reach their 25th anniversaries, a milestone for sure, is declining. Fewer and fewer people are even getting hitched to begin with. In fact, single-headed households now outnumber the marrieds in the United States. Complicating matters is the fragile state of the economy. Thus far, New York has seen a 20% increase in divorce filings, while Florida has seen an 18% drop-off, presumably because precipitously low property values.